Monster Jam. The best of Volume 5.
Last weekend we had the Monster Challenge. Liquidator said, show me the money, and he took it home. This week, you want more? We have the top 10 monster trucks in the whole world here at the U.S. Truck Fest by Chevrolet. Have you ever seen this many monster trucks in one place? No, because this is inside Monster Jam, and we are going to go off at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina, right here, right now. Let's kick it off. Night number 1.
It's real big. It's almost like a dream come true racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's something you always thought about when you were young, you know. It's kind of weird to be standing here.
Well, it feels great, you know, just being here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, being able to run with all these good trucks, a lot of competition here. You know, hopefully we can pull off a win here close to home.
We got the top 10 here, and they're all tough. If you lay down or mess up just one time out there, that guy you're racing is going right by you.
You know how lucky you are to be in the World Championship of Monster Truck Racing? How lucky? That's the top 10 trucks in the world.
I don't know if that's what you call luck, man. It's a lot of hard work with some luck.
Fans tried just about anything to get inside Charlotte Motor Speedway for the first annual IMJ Monster Truck Championship. 10 of the top monsters in the world filled out the grid for the 3-day, 3-event face-off. What better matchup to kick off this classic than Bob Chandler's Bigfoot driven by Dan Runte against Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger. Although only a qualifier, both drivers drove the extremely fast U-turn course hard. Now, Digger's Chevy went around the jump instead of over it. That would earn him a red flag, and it gave the Ford of Bigfoot the victory. Inside the pits, all the drivers couldn't help but talk about the largest U.S. HRA course ever built.
We start on asphalt, we run those dirt bumps. Your tires are picking up mud off the dirt. You go to the corner, and like you said, it's asphalt, and it's ice skating, basically. Or grass is the same way as far as that goes.
A 400-foot straightaway with a corner that hard, what you've got is 2 different races in the same track. A really long course with a turn in it. Hey, we do the straightaway good. We're still working on the corner.
Really long track, like 400 feet, lots of jumps. Is that hard for you?
No, we don't think so. It's 400 feet long. Like I said, the U.S. Truck Fest, they wanted big, they wanted bad, they wanted better. They've got it here.
Mr. Consistent, Gary Porter, qualified Carolina Crusher 3rd on the grid, but he handed Tom Mintz and Monster Patrol the victory when he also was disqualified for going around the jump instead of going over it, just like the Gravedigger. Monster Patrol gets the win. Well, part-time Bigfoot driver Eric Meager was given the keys to Snakebite for the weekend. He qualified 4th and defeated Tony Farrell and Wild Thang to advance to the next round. In a matchup of 2 of the sport's all-time greats, 20-year veteran and 3-time world champion Fred Schaefer in Barefoot against 15-year veteran Dennis Anderson in Gravedigger. It's Digger eking out the victory and moving into the semifinal round. Now, Anderson continued to find his groove as he defeated that pesky reptile Snakebite to earn the final round berth. Despite the loss, Eric Meager gave the Charlotte crowd more to cheer about with that freestyle maneuver. Another look shows Meager coming off the jump wide and launching Snakebite off the concrete barrier located on the stadium rough trucks course. Luckily, he emerged unharmed, but Snakebite was finished for the weekend.
We were out here trying to woo the crowd with a little bit of freestyle, a little bit of hot dog, and actually I ended up getting in a situation I didn't want to get into. Went down to hit a couple jumps, and one of the jumps turned out to be a lot bigger than I thought it was. The only choice I had to do was to go for it, and we went for it, and the end result was the truck getting hurt. We got hurt so bad it put us out of competition.
In the other semifinal, Tom Mintz and his 1995 Chevy Monster Patrol emerged victorious over Dan Runte and the 1996 F-250 Ford Bigfoot. With Monster Patrol facing off against Gravedigger, who could have asked for a better matchup in the inaugural IMJ Championship?
This is the first night, the final. You guys feeling good about it?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, I was telling Dad on the way down here we'd be happy to win one of these, and I guess we're going to have to shoot for the first one.
What about Monster Patrol, though? That guy's kind of like a little, you know, you're loose, but he's a loosey, too.
Oh, yeah, Tom's crazy, man. He'll go for it, and when it comes down to me and him in the finals, God, we just take all of our little shiny armor off and we throw it in a pile, Jack. We're going out for war, bare-fisted.
I'm leaving it at that. Good luck. All right, thanks. Gets a little rough on the equipment out there. He's got to go up against Dennis Anderson, who I might add isn't really kind of baby in his equipment.
Oh, no, they both go out there and beat it good. Dennis is a good driver, but we'll do our best to see what we can do with him.
The tension was excruciating as the drivers took their place on the starting line. Digger powered out of the gate and held the early lead. He encountered some trouble in the U-turn part of the track as Mintz was then able to pull ahead. But Monster Patrol had a bit of trouble over the crushed cars, giving Digger the opportunity to win it. At the line, Mintz is able to push it past the finish line and take the first IMJ championship round. Even in the losing effort, Anderson and Gravedigger found a way to ignite the crowd in freestyle.
Hey, it's a good win, but you're huffing and puffing. What's up?
A lot of work out there, a lot of steering, a lot of bumping and grinding. You know, got a little out of shape over here. Just kept with it.
It's always tough up against Dennis. What happened to him? He burst into flames.
I don't know. I think he's letting it all hang out. He's got another bolt in the trailer, a couple more trainings. He'll be all right for the next one.
What happened?
Yeah, I tell you, Jerry, I think it's either we either spit something out of the transmission line, or it could be something on the hydraulics. It looked like it was hydraulic fluid or transmission fluid that flew up on the headers, and we don't know until we get in there and dissect that baby. But I don't think it's too bad. We'll get her going for tomorrow.
First night, you come out with the win. Feeling good?
Oh, feeling great. You know, 2 more shows, we're going to give it our all. I'd like to go ahead 3-0.
You're going to have to do a little training, do some more cardiovascular.
Yeah, too much work on the truck and not enough jogging, I guess.
All right, congratulations, Tom.
Demolition Derby.
21 drivers knocked fenders at the largest demolition derby in Washington State. A delay came when a small fire broke out on the number 79 car driven by Phil Schultz. It was promptly put out, and the ensuing carnage fest resumed. It came down to last year's winner, number 69, Mike Rathke, and the battleship of Steve Peter. This one looked like it would never end, but when the battleship loses its rear tire, it was sunk, and Mike Rathke was declared your winner.
Ready?
I don't have to say a word.
Nah, just be yourself, kid. Loosen up, okay? Work with me. It's good, it's good. My new friend Bud, he said he'd do anything to get on TV, but first of all, I got to toss. Season finale, Vegas SuperCross. That place was jumping. Bud, show him your stuff. Yeah! Monster! Whoa!
AMA SuperCross.
To win his first SuperCross title, Jeff Emig needed a 9th place or better if McGrath, riding on a painful ankle, could win. Number 20, Doug Henry, captured the 1/900 pro race hole shot aboard the Yamaha 4-stroke, while Emig came out of turn 1 in 2nd place and McGrath was back in 5th. Riding flat-footed, the 4-time champion could only manage a 7th place finish. With the diminished threat from McGrath, Emig fell back and finished 5th. Henry the race victor, Emig the prize #1 plate for next season.
I was trying to fight off, you know, the nerves and everything all day long here, and you know, as most people know, that wasn't one of my best races, but that was the one that definitely clinched it for me. And Kawasaki and my mechanic, Jeremy Albrecht, I mean, they're the ones that I have to thank for it.
Outlaw Quad Wars.
Team South came into the sold-out Houston Astrodome leading 700 to 600 with a chance to wrap up the 15-race series. Team South in white was running 1-2 when Bobby Farr tangled with his teammate and flipped over. Team North's Randy Dinkins moved out front in the 10-lap race when Mike Studden blasted through the field for the lead. Dinkins recaptured the top spot on the corner, then jetted across the line for the upset Team North victory. With only 1 round remaining, Team North ties it up as the season finale is coming up next week from Nashville, Tennessee. If Team North won the battle, Team South called upon Texan Ron Nelson and his busted loose monster truck to deal a psychological blow to Team North.
Hammer question of the week.
Hi, I'm Craig, and my Monster Jam. Hi, I'm Craig, and my jammer question is, why are monster trucks turned off before they race?
This week's answer to the jammer question.
Pro Modified Sand Drags.
Over 32,000 St. Louis spectators got a rise when pro-modified racer Shay Clark slammed her foot down and brought Foolish Pleasures front end up. Joe Villarreal continues to have problems keeping Joey Quick under control. Now, you'll remember last time when Villarreal flipped his sand drag inside the Georgia Dome. He emerged without a scratch and even received 3rd place honors. Well, this time he keeps the rubber side down but overshoots the 100-foot pit. He ends up hitting the wall protection unit. Coming off the Atlanta victory, Fred Wilhite and Money Pit could only manage 2nd place with a 1.652 run. It was defending world champion Mark Green and the Mudbuster with the fastest time of 1.648, good enough for the victory.
Legend Cars.
A party atmosphere is never in short supply inside the Crescent City, and the party moved inside the Superdome, where the Legends cars battled for 10 grueling laps. Number 42, Alan Bynes of Tennessee, was out front early as the 1995 Alabama Legends champion, number 2, Ken McFarland, can't hold off a hard-charging number 20, Toby Everlane, for second place. With 3 laps remaining, Everlane takes the wide line, then drills his car past Bynes for the lead. The Alabama native then opened up the margin for the victory.
We look at each other and start laughing. We're all serious.
Okay, Dennis, you've had some pretty hairy crashes in your day. I mean, big-time rollovers. There's frags all over the roof here.
Hey, that's right, man. You know, when I come back to the shop and everybody complains about me tearing up so many parts, I say, hey, look at all the decorated parts we have hanging around on the grave digger. And
Carnage.
that's it, man. It gives us something to talk about.
This week's monster moment, which one are we going to talk about? What do you think? Maybe West Lebanon? Huh?
Yeah, why not? That's a rollover that I can remember pretty good.
Monster moment.
What about it? What happened?
I was racing UFO. West Lebanon's a really cool track. I love racing there. And actually, when I rolled over racing him, I wasn't running as hard as I could run with the truck. So that's why I probably turned over. I got myself out of control driving so slow with it. But it was a pretty cool rollover. They had me wired up, you know, with the mic.
Whoa, baby. Yeah, we turned her over. She's over. That's what the people want. That's what they got. And I got a tore-up truck.
And we got the truck flipped back on its wheels, checked it all out, and went out and won the race with it. And that was the coolest part.
How's it going? What are you doing? You want to talk to Dennis Anderson?
You gotta go through me first, punk, because I'm the man. Digger Security.
The Terminator can't hold a candle to Digger security guard Jerry Bernardo.
Why do you call this the Digger Dungeon?
Well, we had to come up with a name for a souvenir shop here at their location, and I want to have a really cool place for them to come into, so I had to start thinking of some names, something to kind of do with the Digger, so we call it Digger's Dungeon.
What's this right here?
This is one of the old retired trucks, and actually there's bits and pieces, and every once in a while we'll come in, we'll rob a part off of it if we need it. But this truck is, you know, the kids always want to set in a monster truck. Well, we've got this truck so the little kids can climb in it, they can get in and turn the steering wheel, they can mess with the accelerator and actually make the butterflies work on the blower and all that stuff. It's just for the fans to climb on.
From the Digger Dungeon in Kill Devil Hills, let's look at more monster truck racing. Oh, man.
He's a dip.
6 monster trucks got set to compete on the unique concrete course at the Dayton Thunder Nationals. Before racing at the Irving J. Nutter Center, fans had the opportunity to purchase their favorite U.S. hot rod hats, posters, and T-shirts. Night 1 of racing saw Ohio native Charlie Pauken and Excalibur defeat Nightmare, and The Undertaker with Robert Moore gets the win over the 1955 Chevy Delivery War Wagon in the semis. In the finals, Robert Moore and Undertaker had the better reaction time, but the vertical jump allowed Excalibur to slide by for the win.
Truck tends to fly a little nose high, so that's a good advantage for me on this non-dirt course. My truck was able to stay down, stay low, and cop the win.
On the second night of racing, Excalibur wasn't smooth off the crushed cars, but his run against Nightmare was good enough to get him into the final round. In the other semifinal, 1996 U.S. HRA Thunder Nationals champion Kirk Dabney and his 1995 Ford Overkill knocked War Wagon out to get to the finals. Both drivers timed the light perfectly, but the defending champion on your left is able to just edge out the Night 1 winner.
Is that what I'm saying? Okay.
Modified off-road buggies.
Inside Houston's Astrodome, 53,172 fans came out to see some great metal-crunching buggy action. Barry Calloway was right on the race leader, number 10, Steve Dutton's tail. Before the corner, there was some wheel contact. Then Dutton had too much spin coming through the corner and ended up in the hay bale. On the replay, you could see that Calloway didn't make contact in the turn itself, but his hard driving style forced Dutton's error. Calloway captured the checkered flag.
Well, we've been following the Outlaw Quad Wars series all year long, and it's got to come down to the end. This is it. Nashville, Tennessee, all tied up. Who's going to take it, north or south? They're always jamming in the corners. I am Jay, bringing you the news.
Outlaw Quad Wars.
Both Both teams made final preparations for the season finale inside the new Nashville Arena. The series was deadlocked at 700, and neither team was ready to concede defeat.
Last year I had some mishaps. I lost the #1 plate. I'm really looking forward to getting back at it and bringing the championship home.
IMJ reporter Adam Murphy caught up with Team North captain Dan Allen.
Danny, this is what it all comes down to. What's your strategy for the big race?
There's no strategy. It's just win. That's all there is to it. Take the whole shot, and any means that I have to my disposal to stay up front is the way it's got to be.
How do you feel? Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous anymore. They're talking all they want to in the pits, saying how this is their house. I'm not hearing any of it. I came here to win and win only. There is no #2, so I'm #1.
Good luck.
Allen backed up his talk by busting out with the early lead. Team South captain Rich Tompkins showed his gritty racing style. The Team South captain made no effort to avoid the contact, which left Allen nowhere to maneuver his quad. Luckily, he wasn't injured in the incident. When Team South declared victory, it was predictable mayhem would ensure.
I'll take him and his best teammate against me and my best teammate right now, and this will decide the championship.
The title came down to a two-rider, two-lap grudge race as Allen and Tompkins fought tooth and nail in the winner-take-all event. In the final corner, before the checkered flag, Tompkins made the pass. It gives Team South the season championship.
Yeah, he gave me a run, so what? I showed him what it's like. No rules quad racing is at my house. I showed him.
For Dan Allen, you just knew this loss had to be devastating. Hey, there's always next year, Dan. A final look at the scoreboard shows Team South taking the championship with 8 wins. There were a lot of highs and lows in the 15-round series, and we here at IMJ would like to salute the men and women who competed in the roughest and toughest motorsports competition in the world. The World Series, the Super Bowl, the '96 Olympics. Now it's time for over 57,247 Georgians to witness the ultimate competition, Stadium Rough Trucks. Streetwise drivers in street-legal trucks found themselves competing against each other on the unique roundy-round course, where Jeremy Knight in his '81 Toyota bounced hard with a 35.23-second time against Gary Henniser's '85 Chevy, who broke his axle in the semifinal round. In the finals, Darrell Black's Spanky's toy was fast, but it was Richard Graves in the Toyota Land Cruiser who took home first place.
Monster Truck says, shut up. I gotta remember what I'm saying now. All right.
When the fans love it, I love it. Now we're going to go up to Seattle, Washington. More killer inside Monster Jam. Is this great or what? Yeah. Scream as loud as you can.
Monster Trucks.
Seattle is known for good music, decent coffee houses, and a reputation for bringing down the house when the monster trucks come to town. 56,000 jammed inside the Kingdome for the USHRA Monster Jam, and Pop Cole gets them going with his high-flying antics as the crowd's pumped up for monster truck race action. Here's a great matchup early between two legends, Bigfoot on the bottom, Barefoot on the top. This one is close, but it goes to Bigfoot as he gets the nod into the next round. Now, Tom Mintz is notorious for racing the Monster Patrol to its mechanical limits, and against Snakebite, he doesn't hold back. Even though he landed off center, he's able to move to the semifinal round versus Torres with the win. But that's where Mintz gives new meaning to the phrase, "that was close." In unbelievable fashion, he saves Monster Patrol from flipping over. What a move by Tom Mintz. Indeed, you deserve to take a bow after that one. That'll be a classic IMJ moment for a long time. Let's take another look at it. You can see almost over on his lid, but somehow Tom Mintz is able to gather the Monster Patrol in despite the fact that the wheels virtually touch the sides to the ground. What an incredible moment on IMJ. Here we go to the other semifinal round race where Bigfoot faces off against Gravedigger. Digger is able to come away with the victory, but in the finals, he would lose to Taurus, although Taurus and Eldon Depew will actually roll it over during the freestyle portion of the competition. It was a wild, wild night in Seattle. Taurus is the winner, and the fans are rocking and rolling as Eldon Depew climbs out of the truck unharmed.
Dennis, stick around. Next up, the Jammer Question of the Week. You know, fans get to ask their favorite drivers a question pertaining to the aforementioned sport of monster truck racing. I believe this question's for you. Will you be available?
No pressure, man. I'll be right here.
Okay, right here on the spot at the dungeon.
Jammer Question of the Week.
Hi, we're the Woods family, and our Jammer Question of the Week is, we'd like to know what the first make of the Gravedigger... Why don't you say it? Hi, we're the Woods family, and our Jammer Question of the Week is...
What was the make of the first Gravedigger monster truck?
A, 1983 Dodge truck. B, 1950 Ford panel truck. C, 1960 Chevy panel truck.
And I have the answer for the Jammer Question of the Week. My first truck was a 1951 Ford panel truck. Always ran a Chevy motor. Switched over to a 1950 Chevrolet because I wanted to maybe get a Chevy sponsorship. I love it, man. It's heck, I'm here to stay until every bit of my hair turns gray, I guess.
Monster trucks are shut off.
Okay, now let's go to the Phoenix Air Show with Les Shockley and the Shockwave, the biggest and the baddest jet truck you have ever seen. This guy tore it up in the desert. That's my jet sound.
At the Phoenix Air Show, there were old planes, stunt planes, and modern state-of-the-art jet planes. But also part of the show was Les Shockley and the Shockwave triple-engine jet truck.
When you look at the front end of the truck, represent a factory semi-truck that you see driving down the road. When you go around the back, it's got 3 afterburning J34-48s. It makes 36,000 horsepower, 21,000 pounds of thrust, and the truck weighs 7,000 pounds. So it makes, it's got a 3-to-1 power-to-weight ratio, about twice as much as the space shuttle that launches vertical. It could out-accelerate the space shuttle twice as fast. Get into space twice as fast.
Les Shockley's jet truck then took on the Red Baron Stairman Squadron in a race for the ages.
It's showtime. Let's go, baby. Here he comes. Get your cameras up.
I love it. Every time I get to the other end and the thing's shut off and I'm stopped, you know, and I get that helmet off and I get that breath of fresh air, I'm just got a smile from ear to ear. I just absolutely love it.
While the Shockwave shook the ground, the Blue Angels rumbled in the sky.
Flying high at the air show or flying high on the quads here? Let's look at all the other great stuff from Texas Stadium. Inside Monster Jam, we do it all.
More IMJ racing.
13 street-legal four-wheelers competed in stadium rough trucks, and a considerable amount never went home fully operational. Scooter Hot Shoe Holders defeated Jim Holly with a time of 17:26, which was good enough for third-place honors. Sean Gibson didn't get that much air off the jumps versus Jaws Hanson, but his time of 14.05 put him on top for the overall victory. A few weeks ago, in one of the closest regional Quad War showdowns ever, Team Oklahoma came from behind and defeated their arch rivals from Texas. Bragging rights were on the line in the rematch inside Texas Stadium. Team Oklahoma in black jumped out to the early lead off the Le Mans-style start. Now, this was a seesaw battle where lead changes were as common as a summertime Oklahoma tornado. On the final lap, Bobo Peters recaptured the lead from not one, but 2 Texans. He held both of them off to give Team Oklahoma the upset victory on the road.
IMJ will have some Gravedigger action after that.
After this.
That was great. Here we go. We'll have some Gravedigger.
Gravedigger.
Mike Holis may never make IMJ co-host, but he does have steady work as the Jacksonville Jaguars kicker.
Okay, what am I saying? Hi, I'm Mike Hollis. You're in Jaguar country. More IMJ after this.
Mason, you're supposed to look at the camera.
Bigfoot takes a dive in Nashville. while no one told Madman Mintz that doing donuts in Florida with a flat tire is against the law. As we bail out the big guy, you stay tuned to Inside Monster Jam.
You're watching Inside Monster Jam on ESPN2.
Monster trucks haven't foregone their trademark monster tires for training wheels just yet. No, this is the only way the trucks can get onto the track, through the tight corridors at the Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's about the only way you can fit a 12-foot wide truck inside of an 8-foot wide trailer. You got to put a little bit different treads on it. We like to use a really small tire, a lot easier to lift. Came in here, we cut the center out, and we welded some lugs in there to make it fit on this axle. And like in a temporary spare, you probably run about 60 pounds, and I actually run 125 in these to get it to hold the weight up.
We'll check your tire height, too. I don't think that qualifies as a monster truck tire.
Oh, goodness.
Son, these tires just don't get it.
I need you to step on out of the car, son. You're going to have to come with us.
Oh, no, not again.
That's a SWAT team hanging out of that helicopter.
After I post bail, we'll be back with more Inside Monster Jam.
Once the trucks were in place, thousands of families stopped by for the always popular pit party, where pictures and autographs with their favorite drivers is always exciting.
He's been looking forward to something like this for the last 3 years, and it's finally coming true. He just got to name all these trucks and cars out here and keep them in his little head. But this is better than football right now.
Like the noise. There's very few things that can make more noise than these kids, and I think we finally found one of them.
For the last 2 weeks, it's been like, Dad, are we going to the monster truck pull? Yes, I'm missing work right now, so I hope this ain't on TV.
Oh, yeah, these events are great. I mean, it gets a lot of children involved. Kids love seeing this kind of stuff, and it could be doing a lot of worse things than coming here watching a big truck crushing cars. So we're happy to see the kids have a good time.
8 trucks competed on the straight line course where the racing was fast and furious. In qualifying, Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher cruised over Lil Tiger. Then Gunslinger got the win over Wild Thing, even though Scott Hartsock blew out the transmission and was out for the night. After each run, the disabled list kept growing. Monster Patrol and American Guardian both had good air, but Guardian damaged the starter and was done for the night. Florida native Jim Jack and Reptoid pulled off the upset victory over Dennis Anderson's Gravedigger. With all the mechanical problems, Monster Patrol stayed in the grid and raced solo. Digger stayed in the grid and raced solo. Even Carolina Crusher was able to stay in and, you guessed it, race solo. Reptoid was the only one in the round to race another truck. He stayed healthy long enough to beat Little Tiger, but in the semifinals against Monster Patrol, he suffered engine drivetrain failure, which left the scaly Chevy on top of the crushed cars while Patrol headed to the final round. In the other semi, Carolina Crusher beat Pablo Huffaker and Gravedigger. Later in the show, we'll have the final showdown between Carolina Crusher and Monster Patrol.
This is definitely the best thing about monster truck racing. It's called the pit party. When all the fans get to come in and meet the drivers, see all the equipment, it's really great for the kids. They get to come in and see the big, huge trucks. And this guy's having fun because he gets to sign a lot of autographs. He's really having a good time. Scott, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, just fine. Yourself?
Well, you know, I'm just trying to do a little interview and see how's it going. I think it's kind of cool that all the fans, they get to roll on in, you get to sign some autographs, look around at the truck, and the looks on the kids' faces.
Yeah, I mean, look at them all. They come up here and just stare at these things, these big tires, kind of fascinate them, you know, thinking, man, if we could only have those on Mom and Dad's car.
Yeah, and Dad's looking underneath going, you know, I bet you I could build that out of a wagon.
Yeah, we could take the old station wagon and put these tires on it. We wouldn't have to worry about traffic jams.
He'd probably be shocked with the money it'd take him, huh?
Yeah, he sure would.
What do you think?
It's good.
Who's going to win?
Gunslinger.
Yeah? How old are you?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Everything he says, then he laughs. You're the best. Wait, I'm going to carry you for a minute.
Oh, I just like to see the fans at the end of the night. If they have a smile on their face, I know I've done my job.
Thank you. That's it in a nutshell. The kids love monster trucks. What about the adults? Is this cool or what?
So we can shut off any truck at any given time during the building.
Monster trucks.
Over 58,000 fans were all smiles inside the Pontiac Silverdome as 13 top trucks invaded the Motor City. In the second round, Alan Tura and his jet-powered Ford G-Force just couldn't rocket by Brian Walsh driving Monster Patrol. Patrol is a little shaky over the crushed cars, but he's able to move to the next round against the all-new Wild Thing. Todd Frolic and Barefoot were out of the running early when the Dodge had trouble handling the back end and thrashing it against the Barbarian. Frolic was okay. As for Barefoot, let's say the Dodge needed some work.
It just happened so fast. I know it was a little crooked coming over that first set, and I got back after it, and it just went crooked from there.
After knocking out Monster Patrol, fan favorite Tony Farrell and Wild Fang moved on to the semifinal round against hometown hero Predator. Coming over the crushed cars, Predator wasn't pretty, but it was good enough to advance to the final round against Dennis Anderson and the Grave Digger. In typical Digger fashion, Anderson knocks out Warlock, Thrasher, and then Nightmare 2 to earn his place in the finals. Predator looked smooth off the start, but had too much wheel spin coming off the corner. That opened the door for the Gravedigger, who slides the 1950 Chevy home for the win.
I tell you what, man, Predator's been running real good all night. We all been kind of crossed up on a rear steer out here. We're kind of rusty on it, you know, and heck, man, we're working on this new truck. Every round you can see us down there thrashing on the shocks. When we get this whole mess straightened out, though, it'll be tough to beat.
Shut off the monster truck at any point during...
Why do I keep saying that?
Final showdown.
6 of 8 trucks had experienced mechanical problems at the Jacksonville Monster Jam, so the only 2 trucks left faced one another in the final showdown. Tom Meents and Monster Patrol on the bottom of the screen against Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher. Down the drag-style track, Porter just had the edge at the finish line to be this week's 1/900 Pro Race winner. Carolina Crusher actually loses his drive shaft on this hard landing at the finish. Still, not only did Porter get the win, but he was able to put on a show, doing power donuts for the fans without the drive shaft. And Tom Meents drilled Monster Patrol in freestyle. He even attempted to do donuts with a flat rear tire. Even the Jaguars mascot Jackson couldn't believe this when Meents tried to perform his trademark wing walk on a flat tire. Ever the showman, Tom Meents wasn't going to let a little mechanical problem stop him from putting on a show.
Oh, I think I ran great. I had a lot of problems, but, you know, a lot of other trucks did too, but we just kept going, you know. I mean, that's one thing about us. We carry a lot of spare parts because we tear up a lot of spare parts. The truck ran real good tonight. It's just a little hole. We'll get her back together and get her going again. It'll be all right. I don't know if my dad's watching. He better be getting the tools ready and picking up the phone, ordering parts, because I'm headed that way.
Well, I tell you what, it was pretty tough. You know, the track here was taking a toll on everybody's truck. You know, I was running with no second gear. I was just, you know, winding it pretty tight in first gear, trying to shift straight through second on the third. And, you know, lucky the truck stayed together long enough to take that win there. Well, that's the front drive shaft. I had a little vibration in the truck all night long. I couldn't figure out where it came from on my own, so the truck helped me find the problem on itself. You know, we learned a lot here, and we look forward to next year.
You didn't think just a flat tire was going to stop Tom Meents, did you? No way.
Monster Trucks.
Inside the TWA Dome, over 32,929 Monster Maniacs had a chance to witness one of the gnarliest crashes in recent history. Wasn't that one by Littlefoot? It's this one by Paul Schaefer and Monster Patrol. Monster Patrol's aggressiveness on the course sent this one flying.
The track was kind of a wild track, but what happened was the frame gave away in the middle of the frame. It broke the frame. When it come down, it did a wheelie and landed on the back bumper. But it shouldn't have been a problem, but the frame broke. When the frame broke, it just slammed into the ground and it rolled over 2 or 3 times. When I hit the ground first, I felt something break loose, and then I woke up and everybody was in there dragging me out of the truck. You know?
Knocked you unconscious, huh?
I was out. I hope that I sell a whole lot of T-shirts by that wreck, you know?
I was going to say, tell me this right now. You probably can't go into exact dollar figures, but what does a crash like that set you back in money and time?
It set me back $10,000 because this body cost $2,000, the wings $2,000, the paint job's $2,000, the lettering job's $2,000, and then all the other parts I tore up.
Competing on their home turf, Eric Meager and Bigfoot easily won the second-round battle against Bulldozer, but the Ford pays the ultimate price as the drive shaft pushes into and breaks the transfer case. Well, due to Monster Patrol's early demise, Gravedigger could have taken it easy on his bye run, but Dennis Anderson had other ideas about breaking in the newest Gravedigger. Anderson busted up the suspension and has to spend the rest of the night fixing his Chevrolet for freestyle. After squashing Little Tiger, Gunslinger, and then Carolina Crusher in the finals, Fred Schaefer and Barefoot had every reason to do donuts during freestyle. The biggest applause of the night, though, was saved for Dennis Anderson and the new Gravedigger, who makes it back from a suspension overhaul and lets it rip in St. Louis.
Stay tuned for more Inside Monster Jam at the El Paso Sun Bowl.
All together now.
Stay tuned for more Inside Monster Jam from the El Paso Sun Bowl.
Guy on the left, you get the job.
Stadium Motocross.
Stadium Motocross, rock West Texas style, inside the sold-out El Paso Sun Bowl. Number 7, John McDonald, broke out with a hole shot, but on lap 2, he had trouble with the sandy track that caused a chain reaction pileup. Now, number 148, Don Grable, no relation to Betty Grable, was out front when he encountered problems with the track. That allowed number 4, Mark Traversy, to cut the inside line for the pass, although Traversy went wide around the corner and was able to save it, then shut the door on Grable for the checker.
All the way from the back of the pack, and you just worked the boys over.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that start. My bike just kind of stalled. I had to work my butt off, but I did it.
Extracurricular activity, just madness. This place is crazy. 50,000 people and 3. Well, 4. We're like a group now.
More IMJ Racing.
Coming right at you, number 624, Craig Schroeder, kept his 1600cc buggy pegged to the limit, but he takes the far corner too wide and ends up sticking to the mud. That allowed the Crowder brothers of Jason and Jimmy to easily maneuver themselves into the lead and on to the victory. The real drama was for second place when number 618, Marty Neri, gasses it right before the checkered flag. But does he beat the K99 buggy of James Lair? Even in slow motion, this one is just too close to call, so we're going to say it's a tie. In Stadium Lights Racing, two-time champion Rick Krantz guided the ProMotion machine in cruise control on the way to the easy victory. In fact, Jerry Bernardo thought the stadium lights were so cool, he decided to slap on the headgear and gloves and hop on inside while Rick was being interviewed.
You know what? I always get in trouble. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to go. They were trying to get a vehicle off the track. The safety equipment was still out there. Couldn't get strapped in, so the minute I got strapped in, whoa! I didn't know where the track went. I was having fun. The helmet kept going up. I pulled some donuts. I think I'm in trouble again. Those things are really cool. It's funny. Once you get strapped in, you really feel comfortable and safe. They're kind of jarring, but it pulled donuts. It didn't feel like it wanted to tip over or anything. Would you try that at home? Would you just climb into a foreign object, pin it wide open, and go over a big jump? You would if there was 50,000 people at IMJ, huh? Yeah, you would. You would. For IMJ, you'd do it. I know you would. Don't lie to me. Come on.
Ready for the monsters?
Yes.
It's what you've been waiting for. My monster truck. Okay, can we do it again? Am I allowed to make mistakes? Hey, Buzzy, how cool is this Truck Fest?
Awesome.
What do you think, buddy?
It's cool.
It's what you've been waiting for. More monster trucks from Charlotte Motor Speedway at US Truck Fest on Inside Monster Jam.
By the second day, the IMJ World Championship was the hottest ticket in town, and all the drivers knew they were part of history.
You know, I think they got off to a great start. It's something that we can look forward to watch it grow in the next few years. And, you know, if they keep at it, I think it'll grow into one of the biggest events of all times for the monster trucks.
The people are beautiful here. They treat you like gold. I'm having a heck of a time.
Despite making it to the final round the night before, Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger continued to have problems coming out of the U-turn part of the course. In qualifying against Boogie Van, Pam Vodders pulled off the upset in the 1995 Ford Aerostar van. When top qualifier Kirk Dabney and Overkill spun at the U-turn section, it looked as if Vodders was headed toward the semifinals. But Dabney recovered and then made a great run to the finish line to edge out Boogie Van for the win. Vodders demonstrated just how slick the track was when she slid across the infield after her run was over. Dan Runte placed Bigfoot third on the grid, but was no match for the veteran Fred Schaefer and Barefoot, who had total command of the track as he cruised to victory. Digger advanced as the fast loser and would come back to meet Tony Farrell and the Wild Thing. Digger seemed to have lost horsepower on his final push to the line as Wild Thing is able to knock the Chevy out. Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher lost to Tom Menson Monster Patrol the previous night, and any hope he had of enacting revenge was dashed when he landed off-center after the crushed cars. Mintz, who enlisted the help of his father to tune the 1995 Chevy, didn't even work up a sweat as he defeated former school bus driver turned world-class monster truck racer Tony Farrell. Coming down from the jump, Fred Schaefer's Barefoot lost the front fender off the Dodge, but Dabney and Overkill weren't able to take advantage of the mishap. He was DQ'd for avoiding the finish line crushed cars. It was another classic final round for the IMJ World Championship between Barefoot and Monster Patrol. Schaefer had the good start, but Mintz and Monster Patrol weren't about to give up as he clawed his way to the lead. Over the final set of crushed cars, Barefoot just edged out Monster Patrol for the Day 2 IMJ Championship. As the fans would go nuts in the stands, both drivers tore up the infield of the legendary Charlotte racetrack during freestyle.
You see the fans, I don't know how many of them saw that trick you've ever done before, where you did the wing walk, then jump off the front and command your vehicle to stop. Good roar from the crowd.
Oh, yeah, there were a real bunch of good, enthusiastic fans up there tonight. It was a great house.
You know, it's big TV when there's fireworks going off behind us, and you're still huffing and puffing. Big win last night, runner-up tonight. How you feel?
Oh, I feel great about it. You know, I didn't get it all the way tonight, but I'll give it a hard-fought battle. I'll give it all I had. You know, Fred's tough. You know, I can't make no excuses. Give it all I had.
Hey, what about the fireworks? Let's look.
Holy moly.
Hey,
man.
Inside Monster Jam, we got connection. We go big. This is bigger than Hollywood, man. Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tom, Monster Patrol, thanks for coming. What kind of pull do you got? We just did the runner-up guy get the fireworks in the background of his interview.
I don't know. It was an exciting track, and I think it was exciting for the fans. It was exciting for the driver in there. A lot, you know, real busy in there. A lot of turns, a lot of jumps. It was a fun track.
Stay tuned for more Inside Monster Jam from the U.S. Truck Fest. Stay tuned for more Inside Monster Jam from the U.S.
Everybody loves monster trucks. In Tampa, there was a group of special kids, really, really big fans. They got to hang out with pro wrestlers and pro football players. Let's have a look.
At Houlihan Stadium in Tampa, Florida, over 54,000 fans screamed for their favorite trucks and drivers. Among the loudest were a group of children whose visit was made possible by the Make-A-Wish Foundation, a nonprofit group that turns terminally ill children's dreams into reality.
These guys are our heroes, you know what I'm saying? They put a smile on our face instead of us putting a smile on these kids' face. These kids are great. They give us the strength that we need sometimes, right, John? Right, Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
In a time when smiles are hard to come by, the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the USHRA monster trucks teamed together and made a lot of dreams come true for an exceptional group of youngsters.
Anytime you can go out in the community and help people and make kids smile and make them laugh, and a lot of kids that are having trouble, and make them go that extra step that they need the help to do, then it's worthwhile, you know. I mean, everything you do in life, it's all about really the beauty and the purity of life.
That was a really great special night for the kids from Make-A-Wish Foundation. You know, the kids love this.
Yeah, they sure do. You know, if it wasn't for the kids, you know, they power me to come out here and do this. The kids really get into it, and you know, I really enjoy seeing them, the expression on their face, you know, everything. And you know, I just hope that we can influence a lot of kids out here to keep them off of drugs and you know, let them live their wish out.
Yeah, have a good time.
To test the RII, the remote ignition interrupter, is that what it is?
We didn't think it was possible, but we found two of a kind in Tampa. Meet Jerry and Sherry.
Hi, I'm with Jerry, and I'm Sherry, and we're watching Inside Monster Jam, and we'll be right back.
Imagine me and you, a two-seater monster truck. We are going off. You're driving. I'm petrified, biting the nails.
Oh, believe me,
We're going
if
for
I'm
big
driving.
air. No, it's going to be awesome. What do you think? Are we going to win?
Oh, definitely. No doubt about it. I mean, I'm the one that can do it.
Okay, and then the prize money, where would we go? Monaco, maybe French Riviera?
the French Riviera.
Or just like
Yeah.
Citrus County? Or...
No. French Riviera. Yeah.
Notice how when you talk and the kids always think, and they think you don't see them. It's like, get out of it, God.
I know. No, we're out of here.
More IMJ Racing.
If you thought the stadium rough trucks were going to take it easy on the final day of competition, you were wrong. Watch Jeff Walter destroy the axle on his Jeep Wagoneer while competing against Sean Gibson. He was definitely looking for a ride home after Truck Fest. Reagan Hermany's smooth run was good enough for second place. Mike Keith on the top of your screen clocks the fastest time of the day with a 13.34. Dale Giles, on the other hand, still hasn't made it to the finish line. As soon as he crosses, we'll be sure to let you know. In four-wheel drive pulling, Charlie Dutton, driving Child's Play, just squeezed into the top 10 with this run. It would be Herb Davis and Animal House pulling a fourth-place finish. as Animal House comes down the Charlotte track. But Jerry Swearingen would be the man, pulling 277.91 feet in the Outlaw. And Jerry Swearingen comes away with the victory at Charlotte Motor Speedway's Truck Fest.
It's like saying, say toy bull 3 times fast. Try that when you're doing nothing. All right. Okay. Monster trucks are shut off. No. Yeah. Monster trucks are shut off before they race.
I just said we want to do a thing about crashing and go, why are you going to pick me? Why would you think?
I don't know. Why are you going to pick me?
You've wadded.
Once.
What?
Once this year.
No,
that's
no.
all.
I mean, in the past 3 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could make a whole...
Ninth place finish in the last race, and there he goes now.
Barely touched the foot pegs to those sections.
Boy, those moguls coming out of that turn. They're
a lot of things good, and then, oh!
And then his teammate Albert P. went flying. Down ripples.
Worst crash?
Houston last year. Well, big quad, hit the face of it, front wheel tended to wash out on the face, we still don't know why. And next thing I knew, I was ejecting in about 30 feet in the air, and it wasn't pretty.
Monster truck. Hold on. All right.
Well, right here on my watch, I think it's time for a closer look segment. A driver, his truck, a highlight, really good. Ron Nelson and Bustin' Loose. Right now on the Deuce. Hey, that rhymed. Coffee.
A closer look.
Hi, I'm Ron Nelson. Here we have 1 horsepower, which versus Bustin's Loose, 1,100 horsepower.
Now, he might look like a serious guy, but we've got some footage of Ron horsing around.
Hi, I'm Ron Nelson. Thank you, girl. Appreciate that. It's a blown alcohol motor. It's running 12.5 to 1 compression. It's a 96 cab and a half Chevrolet body. We're the only one so far out on the circuit that's running a cab and a half. We also have a turbo 400 underneath it, which is an automatic just like the one you have at the house. In your mom's car, your parents' car. We just put it in gear and go. And I like to go out and hit the motocross jumps and get a lot of air. They kind of frown on me for doing it, but I sure do put a good show on, and the people love it.
Go Ron! Ron Nelson!
I want to say one thing. Do you know what a privilege it is to get to drive the Gravedigger? How many people do you let drive this seriously?
This will be the first.
Okay, for some reason, why would you let me drive this seriously?
Because I think you're cool.
Okay, another thing is we definitely have the ignition interrupter going on here. The safety's always a major factor.
Right, exactly, because, man, you never know what's going to happen on these dudes. So that way, if we think that you're going too fast and too far, I've got my finger on the button.
Shut
buddy.
you
I
down.
can stop you.
Okay, so what we're doing is this is a little test area he has. He had a jump here earlier, but we took it out. This is just kind of like a little straightaway where we test the transmission, make sure it goes through the gears right and stuff like that. So that's what we're just going to do. We're aiming for a whole shot.
Right.
First to second gear.
Right.
It feels like it pulls a huge wheelie.
Right, and seeing people always ask, what is it like to get in a monster truck and do it? It's hard to explain.
You're just like, ah! And I got to do it 3 times! 3! Count them 3 times! Not 1! Not 2! 3! Look at this.
It got his adrenaline flowing.
When you're going to your target, the next pile of cars...
Feel this thing.
It's dumping.
Thanks.
All
Dude,
right,
no,
man.
seriously. That was fun. What a way to end up a great day here at Gravedigger's house. We rode around on all the little stuff, kind of warmed up, let him drive on the street rod, then got out back. That's what it's like. Wait, one more time. How's that audio? IMJ, best show in the world. First ever. Yeah.
Cool.
You can't fake that stuff.
Oh, yeah, it was a stunt driver. Bernardo didn't really drive the Gravedigger.
I want that washed and waxed. Bring it up to the house.
No, I got you, boss.
All right, now what?
It's time for a monster moment. Jerry, can I see your best monster truck moment?
Monster moment.
USA 1 was one of the first monster trucks on the circuit. Steve Wilkie and Rod Litzow provided some of monster truck racing's best early memories, including Louisville, 1988. Litzow needed the victory against Bob Chandler's Bigfoot to win the first world championship. Not only did he upset the Ford truck for the win, but thrilled the crowd by rolling it over after the finish line.
Going to close out now with the... What were you shaking your head for? Oh, I thought you were shaking your head. Okay, I just seen you out of the corner of my eye.
All right, let's see if I can do the whole thing. Let's try that.
It's been a great year on the Monster Jam Tour. Let's close it out with really cool footage, the best of the best. Take it easy.
Final showdown.
With clear blue skies and perfect temperatures, it was a great day to bring the family out to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Although the Monster Truck Challenge main event was Saturday, 16 up-and-coming trucks stuck around and competed in the exhibition match. What do you expect from the biggest truck fest in the world? Scott Stevens and King Crunch were on their way to the victory over Survivor in the quarterfinals until the vicious landing off the crushed cars destroyed his truck in one of the most brutal crashes ever. Now, this crash is a testament to the safety precautions that all monsters must abide by, because Stevens emerged uninjured, although he was brought to the local hospital as a precaution.
And that's about the worst crash that we've had in a long time with a monster truck.
How does that one rack up insofar as crashes you've seen?
That was almost a 10 on bad crashes. I mean, it was one of the worst ones I've seen. End over end is bad.
In the final round, Brian Barthel and Little Tiger defeated Chuck Jordan and Survivor. On to the IMJ Championship, where despite a good drive to the finish line, Gary Porter and Carolina Crusher fell a little bit short to Dan Runty and Bigfoot. In a major blow to his masculinity, Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger, upset by the only woman in the field, Pam Botters and Boogie Van. They got a little too close for comfort after the finish line, but avoided contact. Now, Botters then faced day one winner Tom Mentz and Monster Patrol in the semifinals. Mentz had the Charlotte track dialed in and easily defeated the Boogie Van. In the other semi, day two winner Fred Schaefer and Barefoot, who is rumored to be retiring after this season, couldn't keep up with the Ford of Bigfoot. Runty moved on to the finals despite almost losing it after the finish line. The final showdown was a classic between two of the world's best trucks. Mintz and Monster Patrol seemed to get off the line cleanly, but in the U-turn section of the track, he spun the Chevy out, giving Bigfoot the clear sailing to the finish. That makes Dan Runty our third 1/900 Pro Race Final Showdown winner in 3 championship races. But Mintz, with a win and making the finals all 3 days, comes away as the first IMJ World Champion from Charlotte.
All in all, it went good at the U.S. Truck Fest. So, I mean, you had a great weekend.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for us. We've been working real hard for it, and it turned out really well.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Good job, man.
Crashes are never planned, they just happen. But thank goodness that Scott Stevens of King Crunch was okay. And not all crashes end up like this one. Kudos to the USHRA Truck Fest staff.
Jammer question of the week.
Hi, I'm Craig, and my jammer question is, why are monster trucks turned off before they race?
A, to make sure no one red lights. B, so fans can take pictures. C, RII test. And now the moment we've all been waiting for.
Hi, my name is Brian Chernow, and I'm a USHRA official, and I have this week's answer to the JAMA question. Monster trucks are shut off before they race to test the RII. The remote ignition interrupter is used so we can shut off the monster trucks at any point during the competition. Because here at USHRA, safety is priority one.
Oh! Well, we've reached the end of the end. And before the sneak previews, just this thought. If you try hard enough and practice long enough, it's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.